Hey guys, it's Kayla and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things emo scene and in between. I'm back today because I am dyeing my hair and so I need to dye new extensions, and I thought I would show you guys how I dye my emo scene hair extensions. So yep, let's get to it. So I am in the process of fading my hair out. I still need to wash it some more with some clarifying shampoo and hopefully get as much of this color out as I possibly can. But I am gonna go ahead and be dyeing it, so I need to go ahead and do the extensions. For this, you are going to need hair extensions, hair dye. You're gonna need some cardboard, which I have a giant piece here with me. You're gonna need some hair dye brushes. You're also going to need some bowls to put the hair dye in, and a hair straightener. I think that's basically it. If I mention anything else, then yeah, I'll probably throw that in too, but that's basically it for the most part. Yeah. For reference, my current hair extensions look like this. So I have two sections that are these cute coon tails that I do, and I also have my extensions that are for the blue in my hair, and I have these. So this is what we're working with for my old extensions, and for the extensions I'll be dyeing, I just have some plain blonde ones that are untouched and ready for me to damage. So that's what we're working with. Now, I plan on dyeing my hair blue, pink, and purple. So because I'll be doing those colors, I am planning on doing the new extensions with my new colors. So we'll be recreating these extensions, but on the new ones. And I'll be freshening up my blue ones here. Sheesh. I'll be freshening up my blue ones here so that way they're a little bit more vibrant for whenever I dye my hair tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys how I do my extensions and we'll just get right into it. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do whenever you're dyeing extensions is make sure that you straighten them. I always recommend this if you're going to be putting patterns on the extensions because it makes it a lot easier to make sure that you get the pattern you want. So I went ahead and straightened these extensions, and we're going to go ahead and start with that. I'm laying them out on the cardboard. That's what we're going to be kind of brushing the hair dye on with, and we'll be using these containers in order to be able to put the hair dye on. So I'll put the hair dye in the container and then I'll use the brush to paint it on, and as you'll see, I kind of will go through and put my design on with my stripes, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So yeah, if you have gloves, I would recommend using them. I don't have gloves, so I won't be using them. But I'm going to go ahead and put the color into the bowls. For these, I'm going to be doing purple and pink stripes. So I'm going to do one bowl of the purple and then one bowl of the pink. Pink dye. My cat is all up in my business. Please don't. No thanks. Okay, so I have my hair color. It's in my bowls. I have two different brushes, so I have one for each color. I feel like this is pretty helpful as far as like trying to make sure that I have everything the color it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna go ahead and start with one extension piece. Because the top of my hair is going to be purple, I'm gonna start with purple at the top of the extension, and then I'm going to do my stripes going down. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the coloring part. No going back. You want to make sure that the hair gets super saturated because you want it to go through as much to the other side as possible, because we are going to pick this up and flip it, and when we do, it's going to be a lot easier if we have color on the other side. So the best you can do to get it through to the other side so it's covering as much of the hair as possible is going to save you in the long run from having to clean up a lot whenever we flip it. Try to pick up your brush as little as possible so you're picking your hair up as little as possible. It's going to help whenever it comes to getting all the strands from getting all gunked together. So it looks like this so far, so you guys get the idea. I just want to touch on how messy of a process this is. I feel like in tutorials and stuff you see online, it can make like doing the little raccoon tails look really easy, but as someone that's dyed their own hair extensions multiple times and done things like this multiple times, I can attest that it's a very like gross, messy process. Like, it's not gonna look perfect, but my extensions that I've been using looked very similar whenever I dyed them, as far as the way that they turned out and how they looked whenever I dyed them, and they turned out just fine. And they were also messy as well. So I think it's more of a trust the process thing, but just know it's not going to look perfect, but the end result will definitely be what you're looking for. Like, I feel like it doesn't have to be perfect when it's wet for it to still turn out the way you want it to. So like, for instance, I have stray pieces that are, you know, different pieces of pink and purple, but once this is, you know, processed and rinsed out and everything, you're not going to be able to tell that once it's in my hair. So I'll obviously be able to show you guys because I'll be wearing these, so trust and believe if they don't turn out right, you'll notice. But this is just what we got so far. I'm just going down and doing the stripes, and that's basically how we're going to achieve it. Okay, so I've gone down my extensions and I have gone ahead and dyed them on this side. So this is where things get even more messy, if it wasn't already possible for them to, you know, be messy enough. So this is where we're going to go ahead and flip it. So basically, if you're able to get as much of the hair on this side saturated, then this next part is going to be a lot easier for you. But we're going to take this extension, pick it up from the top, and we're going to flip it so that way we can get the rest of the hair that's on the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up, and I'm gonna do my best to try to align the extension as much with where my marks of the colors on the cardboard I've already painted are. So for instance, I'm gonna try to get pink to match up with pink and purple with purple. This is gonna make it easier for like not having as much of the color smear onto the other side. So this will be helpful for keeping it from bleeding as much. So as you can see on my other side, there's a lot of blonde, but I can see the pieces where there was supposed to be pink and where they're supposed to be purple. So I'm just going to go through and do the same thing, but on this side. So already on this side, it looks like this. Alrighty, so I went ahead and this is my finished extension piece. This is just one of the two that I'm going to be doing that are in this pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and try and do the other one beside it if I can. And then I'll have both of these strips processing and ready to go. But they should be good to go. Once you do the front and the back, you should be fine as far as having coverage, especially if your extensions are thinner or have less grams as far as the amount of hair that are in each piece. So because these are small pieces and because there isn't a lot of hair, it's not that bad as far as getting coverage. So this should do for it. Again, it is messy, but trust the process. I promise it's going to come out the way that it's supposed to. So we'll go ahead and move on to the second one. I might just cut the footage on that a little bit shorter just so you guys aren't watching me do the same thing over, but then after that we'll go and do the blue, and I'll show you how I do my extensions for ones that I'm not doing patterns on. But yeah, let's go ahead. My hands are already starting to dye. This is why you should wear gloves, guys. So if you have gloves, wear gloves. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start on this other piece. Again, make sure that you straighten it. This is as straight as it's gonna be, given that this is just the effort that I'm putting into it. I've gone ahead and refilled my cups And I'm just gonna go ahead and do my extensions literally in the same way as I just did the first one. So take this and then we're gonna move it to this. Boom, we're off to a great start so far. Once these process and I wash them out and everything, they'll look great. So this right here is perfect. Even if it is messy, this is exactly the way that it should look when you're done. And I'm gonna go ahead and put these over to the side so they can continue processing. And then when I rinse them out, I'll just go ahead and do that. And then I usually let my extensions air dry after I wash them out. So ideally you would let these process, you would then rinse them until the water is clear, and then you will let them air dry. That is the best way that you can do your extensions. And also I find that it helps limit the damage that you're doing since you're already straightening them and then dyeing them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this to the side, and then we're gonna move on to the blue hair extensions, and I'll show you guys how I go ahead and style, or go ahead and dye, I should say, my regular extensions without having any pattern in them. Also, if you're interested in other patterns that you can do in scene hair extensions, definitely let me know in the comments below. I love dyeing hair extensions and I'm always open to new ideas and trying out new looks. So if you guys are interested in seeing other sorts of patterns, I would definitely be open to dyeing other extensions and experimenting a little bit with you guys. But yeah. Alrighty, so I'm back and I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my basic extensions. For the purpose of this, I'm going to be reusing my extensions that I already have. But in the event that I did not have extensions that were already the color, or, you know, basically the color that I wanted them to be, I would be using new extensions like the ones I showed you previously for my stripes. So for this case, I'm going to be using my other extensions that are blue, and we're just going to be touching these up. If I had gloves, I honest to God would just recommend taking the hair dye and then just going in and massaging it into the hair, because it's easier to work with when it comes to an extension. But because I do not have gloves, we're going to be using a brush and some cardboard like we did with the other ones. And I'm basically just going to be applying color and just touching up the extension. This is going to be a little less formal because it doesn't really matter as long as most of the extension is covered, especially since it's already the color it's supposed to be. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and put hair color on this, and then we're going to let it process. As messy and terrible as this looks, this is literally the end product because all of the hair is saturated the way it needs to be as far as for it to be touched up. So I'm gonna lay these little clumps here and let them process while I'm letting the others process as well, and then I will be rinsing all of them. Again, I really think that it's a good idea if you let your hair extensions air dry, so I'm going to be rinsing them and then letting them air dry, but that would be my recommendation. No thanks, Nilla. But that would be my recommendation. So we're gonna go ahead and let these process and then rinse them out. Okay, so I've gone ahead and rinsed my extensions and I'm leaving them to hang to dry. They look a lot darker on camera than they are in person. They are very vibrant in person. But as you can see, the pattern looks fine. Everything looks okay as far as these ones. And then these are my blue ones that look super dark, but they're not that dark in real life. But I'm leaving them here to air dry, so I've already washed them out. I washed them out in cold water, and I made sure that I just waited until the water was clear, and I am now just gonna leave them to dry. Once they do, then I will then style them and put them in my hair. But yeah, I'm still in the process of doing my hair because I do not plan to actually bleach it and dye it until tomorrow. Hey guys, it's Kayla from the future. I'm currently editing and I realized that for whatever reason my outro didn't film. I would totally film myself and show you guys, but I've already dyed my hair and I don't really want to reveal it to you yet because I have a whole separate video on that coming out soon. So I thought I'd give you some high quality video of Nilla licking my hand, and I would let you know that if you like videos like this, you should be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know exactly when Nilla and I post. Also, make sure that you leave a like and a comment letting me know what you think of my hair dyeing process and also what colors I should do next. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. We're going to go ahead and head on out. Remember to stay safe and make good choices, and remember you're awesome. We love you guys so very much. Bye!